I feel like I'm reporting live.
We are reporting
in the middle of a hurricane.
We are.
Well, folks,
this is what you should be doing. Sack on your side.
It's a wet one out there, but I made it through safe.
You should put. If I had a fan going blowing.
I'm Tommy Tom Thomerson. We're live from Magnolia Green, where my God, it's like a monsoon out there. Was that funny?
It was no.
And why the fuck you laughing?
The power of Yoda.
Don't blame that.
I'm not blaming him.
You ever had you make somebody laugh and then they say it was, they laughed
I didn't say it wasn't funny. I just said it wasn't that funny. I said it wasn't funny at all. There's levels to this. Okay, look. If you're was laughing, it falling out of your chair funny? No, but I'm almost
lean forward.
I'm saying.
You did a lean?
I'm saying I did a lean. I don't know if it's worthy of a lean. I'm just saying it wasn't.
But you gave the lean.
I gave.
Worthy or not, it created the lean.
And I told you why. Because when you hang out with Yoda&Jobu, everything is enhanced. So something that's like a 6 is like an 8.
Dude, when your friend does a news report pretending that he's in the middle of a big storm,
if you had a fan going behind you with blowing shit all over the place like that. That would be funny because they'd be like, oh, they even got a fan going.
Well, Jim, we're not going to stay dry.
It's never a Jim. It's like Trish. Back to you, Trish. It's like something like that. Or like, hey,
no, never a Jim.
Back to you, Harry. I never heard of Jim.
I don't watch the fucking news.
I'm not saying there hasn't been a Jim.
It's funny because I went to school for broadcast journalism.
And you've never watched the news?
I mean, I used to watch the news. I watch it online. I don't watch local news, you know.
By the way, welcome to the show.
That's right.
This is this is what happens when you hang out with Yoda&Jobu. So anyway, that is the redoubtable one himself, Tom Izzo, the highly questionable Nadia Miliaccio, segment 1, IDD for those of you in the know. I don't disagree for those of you who have made the dance, made the last call. Yes, it's
on a
Monday. And we're here in the sec. By the way, not a bad night. It was raining cats and dogs for about an hour or so, but then suddenly it dropped. There's a nice cool calmness to the sec. A cool. Almost feels like a late winter, early spring. It's like a cool.
That's pretty much what it is.
Actually, that is. Well, no, because technically, spring first is March 21st. That's still 3 weeks away.
It's still late winter, early spring.
Late winter. What's early spring? What does that? Does that mean 1 week before spring? Does that mean 3 weeks?
March 1st is Wednesday.
So you could, well then technically.
Well, no, technically it's late winter.
But it could be early spring. Because to your point, March. When you think March, you don't think winter, you think spring.
It is March. This motherfucker called an offensive foul.
By the way, the Celtics and the Knicks are on.
Sorry, pardon my Italian.
It's all right. Now, the Celtics Knicks are on in Madison Square Garden tonight, which is a big game. And it's in the fourth quarter. The Knicks are winning, I think, by a dozen.
Yeah, they're about to
in the
challenge a foul call.
And for those of you who are hockey fans, all 2 of you in the whole world, according to Tom, the Boston Bruins are up 2-1 on the very speedy Edmonton Oilers in the second quarter. Edmonton, by the way, has 2 of the top 5 scores in the league, and the guy who's number 1 already is over 100 points. And by what people say, he's the fastest skater in the history of the NHL. I want to see this kid just for that reason.
What's his name?
His name is Connor McDavid. And he is like lightning on skates, what they're saying. They're saying he's the fastest skater ever. That's a bold statement. Given some of this, that's a bold statement.
Who is supposedly the fastest skater ever? Gretzky?
Well, he's one of them. But he's not the
What about Crosby?
Crosby's another one. Him, and then the guy for, it wasn't Gretzky. Who was the guy for
Bobby Hull? Or was he a defender?
No, he was I think he was an offensive. No, this guy, who that? Oh my God.
Mike Eruzione?
No. That was his one shining moment. No, this guy's a fast guy.
See, I don't know enough about him.
It was some between the Jaromir Jagr.
Oh, yeah.
He was a burner.
Penguins, right?
Yeah, Penguins. Him and Mario Lemieux together. Ridiculous. They were so good, the Penguins. Anyway, yeah, him. Jaromir Jagr was a burner, too.
Dude.
So Fedorov for Detroit. Fedorov when they were well, all right, but he was
Mario
older.
Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr, like those are two of the coolest fucking names of all time.
They are. Yeah, that's
And-
true. I agree.
So they were both on the same team, right? That's ridiculous.
They won multiple Stanley Cups. And they were as good a line as you'll see in hockey.
Was Messier a fast guy, or he was
He was more like a Bergeron. He's good at everything. He was an all around guy like Bergeron. Messier was
not just
Messier didn't have one thing. He was good at everything. That's what he was. He was fast. He could hit. He could fight. He could pass. Messier was an all around dude. So he just wasn't as fast as
That's
Gretzky.
funny that there's like guys in the league that are like, oh yeah, he can't fight though.
Messier could.
I know. It's just funny that like that's a
Well, it's not
that's
about
a skill to have in a
Well,
sport.
no, it's not that you can't like. It's not that, like you fight when you have to fight. Like Wayne
Oh,
Gretzky,
yeah,
no one's gonna. Wayne Gretzky's not a fighter, but it doesn't mean he never got in a fight. It's just But
If somebody
those guys,
pissed him off enough,
yeah, he could still hold his
he
own.
could tap your jaw.
Yeah, he was Cam Neely for the Bruins. Oh my, this dude, he was a fighter, and
How could I forget Cam Neely?
Cam Neely. Well, he was a 50-point scorer, 50 goal scorer.
I remember. He was big.
He was big in the 1990s.
Yeah.
You were like
10, and
10.
I didn't watch hockey.
Didn't watch hockey. Even though it was two very good hockey teams in his town, neck of the woods, but whatever.
No, I lived in Virginia.
Oh, the Capitals not good then?
I don't know.
They've had some
Not good
years.
enough to.
Not
there
like
were
now
no-
when they get
Well,
over.
there were no hockey fans in Fredericksburg, at least that I know of.
It was a hip hop, rapping, street balling.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. So that was the bird.
In country time.
Call it the bird.
In country, and it was either country or that.
The bird.
Like you were either Southern. I mean, everybody was Southern. You were either country or you
But
liked
see,
hip hop.
The weird thing is, even though we're in Southern Virginia, I haven't, and I hear the
we're
Southern.
kind of in Central.
Yeah,
Virginia.
I hear the Southern accent every now and then, but it's not as common as I thought it would be. I hear it I hear it, but it's just not as often as I thought, or as rampant as I thought.
Well,
Maybe if you
also,
get,
there's a ton of transplants here,
yeah,
and also like Casey grew up in Fredericksburg. She's not like country.
no, she's not country at all.
You know what I'm saying? It's
She's
like
the anti-country.
well, no, it's just like a neutral accent.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of Casey's family is super.
She's
country.
like Shermer, Illinois. Shermer High School.
It's just a
Breakfast
standard.
Club, standard
just
middle
a
America,
standard, yeah.
upper middle class town. Like Shermer High School.
A basic white.
A
Is that
basic
what they call them?
Basic way.
A basic white.
Basic.
We're Italian. We're not basic whites.
We're dark.
We're
white.
complex.
We're dark.
We're brown.
We're tan white. We're tan. Whitish tan? Is there tannish white?
I mean, in the summer, I'm
summer,
brown.
I'm pretty tan. I get burned.
You don't get brown like me.
Not like you, but I do get brown, but I burn first. It's weird. That's the Irish.
Are you half Irish?
No, I'm mostly Italian. I have 3 grandparents. I have one who's Irish.
Okay.
So, well, I have one who's half Italian, half French.
So what are you, like 12 and a half Irish?
There's a little French in there too. My dad's mother is French and Italian.
Half and half.
She's half and half.
So you got 12 and a half.
The
on
dad,
both of those.
the dad is 100% Italian. My other granddad is 100% Italian. My grandmother was Italian and Irish.
Oh,
That's where the Irish
so
comes
you're more than.
No,
You got 12 and a half from each one of them.
I got one grandmother who's Italian and French. One grandmother who's Italian and Irish. Both granddads are 100% Italian.
Okay. So you got 12 and a half French and 12 and a half Irish.
Is that what it breaks down? Over 100%?
So you're 75% Italian.
Okay.
Plus 12 and a half
Irish.
and 12 and a half French.
I'm actually Irish on the next day.
I'm half Irish, half Italian, right down the middle.
You're right down the middle. So anyway,
Although some of that Irish is Scotch Irish.
but
Why are we talking about
I
this?
don't know what we're leading into. Oh, football.
That's not what we're talking about.
No, but
They really called that an offensive foul.
But they
wow.
The Washington Commanders today made a historically big decision by cutting one of the great, whatever you want to call it, wasted talent, whatever it was, wasted potential ever, in Carson Wentz.
Hold on a second. Can you watch this?
At one point,
They called an offensive foul.
oh, right there?
They called an offensive foul on him.
That's not a foul at all.
It's a no call.
It's a no call. if anything. I feel like they're going to lose. They're going to lose anyway. They're going to win.
They could lose.
What's the score?
That was weird. They just gave, or I don't know what they did. They gave Tatum a shot or two.
What was that even?
They gave Tatum one shot.
For a technical?
I don't know.
That's weird. What's the score? I can't see it.
Damn, I think they just called a T on
Who?
Thibodeau.
That's Thibodeau? It doesn't
Yeah.
look like him. Oh, it does look. Yeah, okay. Anyway, it looks like it's become a Donnie.
Sorry.
A Donnie there. Boston is trailing by 2 or something.
No,
like
they're
that.
trailing by 11.
By 11. 89? So it's not a,
89 to 100. But I can't see how much time is left. 5:47. So, I mean, this game is not over. Sorry, I interrupted the Redskins talk. My
yeah,
bad.
the Redskins, the Commanders, whatever. So Carson Wentz got handed his walking papers today, saving the Commanders $26 million, almost $27 million, $26.7 million.
And an even bigger number to their cap, wasn't it?
Yeah. Well, they let another guy go who was another $3 million off the cap.
Oh, that's
so
right.
They gained about almost $30 million.
Was that McCain or something like that? I didn't know who
forget
that
what his
guy
name
was.
but he was like
I didn't realize they were big
which
contracts.
saved him like 2.7 or it wound up being like $29 million and something again under the cap or off the cap. So, which is a smart move. They missed the playoffs, so they're picking in the top 14. They being the Commanders, so they're gonna they should get a quality pick there. And they now have Eric Bieniemy, who's now coaching their offense. I really want to see what Taylor Heineke would look like with this guy coaching, because they've got 2 stud wideouts, they've got a stud running back, they've got pieces.
Yeah.
They really do. They went into Philly and beat Philly last year.
Their defense is pretty good
when it's
year in
healthy.
and year
If it's
out.
healthy,
I mean,
they're and they were in the best division in football. And they were 8-1 in that in that division.
and Chase Young didn't play for half the season.
No, he
more,
didn't.
more than half.
They
the
didn't
season.
have him for a while. Yeah. So he's their best defensive player.
You know what I think is kind of interesting is the Commanders are kind of like a big joke. I feel like, and people
They're
like
not a bad team,
but people like kicking them while they're down. And
Yeah.
shitting on them.
pretty much.
But now that Bieniemy's there, I think people are going to start to root for him
I think so
because
too.
people want to see him do.
Well, plus people hate the owner. People hate that guy.
Mhm.
He is not only hated by Commanders fans; he's hated by people everywhere.
Yeah.
From what it looks like.
So if he gets out of there,
They
which it
said he
sounds like
couldn't.
it's gonna
He was
happen.
never able to build a new stadium because people wouldn't approve it because it was him. That's why he brought his wife in 2 years ago.
people just hate him. That
People
much?
hate. He's a dick. By all accounts, he's a major league asshole. And word is out on him. And he brought his wife in a couple of years ago, now things have been better in terms of business because of her, because she's kind of taken over. Like he's still the guy behind the, he's telling her what he's gonna, but she goes.
Well,
out
didn't they get divorced or something, and that's why she's involved?
I don't remember what it was. But, she's better in terms of doing business with him. She's just a more agreeable, compromising type of person, and doesn't talk down to you like this guy does. So
He's one of those.
he's one of those
D-bags.
dudes. He walks in and is like, "This is my room. You're all just."
And I want to sign Robert Griffin the third.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see what
Isn't
happens. with-
Robert Griffin and him super tight. Isn't that kind of weird?
That is weird. That's very weird.
Everybody hates him, but RG3. I
One
mean,
guy.
I guess he paid RG3 a bunch. So
Hey, give me $500 million, whatever. I'm probably only.
he didn't give him that much.
No, I'm just saying. A lot of zeros.
But it'll be interesting to see people pulling for Eric Bieniemy because
Well,
I think everybody thinks he kind of got.
he's
a little
still.
bit
He
screwed.
should. How explain this to me? How did 2 losing coaches for the Eagles get head coaching jobs before him? He's got 2 Super Bowl rings, and he just outcoached them. Explain that to me. That's ridiculous. I don't even know how to. You can't justify that to me. There's no way.
Yeah, it's just it's
He
strange.
outcoached. He literally outcoached them on national TV. So, and that was his second ring. And yet, these 2 clowns who he outcoached are more qualified.
Right.
I don't get it. I don't understand.
He
that at all.
made that defense look like dog shit.
That defense was not. I mean,
And
literally.
they hired that D coordinator before the offensive
I
coordinator.
know. I know. I don't get it. I don't listen. The world is upside down right now. When we go through this fucking March Madness list, you're going to shit a brick on that one. I mean, just there's a lot of weird shit going on.
Dude, you gotta. Race has to be involved. I'm sorry.
It has to be.
It has to be.
No, it must be. What else? What else could? Nobody's that stupid.
Why?
You're stubborn or you're racist, but you're not stupid.
If you're racist, you're probably stubborn as fuck.
Well, you're stupid if you're racist anyway. But I mean, the point, you're already stupid, so I can't. Am I surprised? No. But it's like, this is the thing. Like, how, if you're trying to win,
right?
Okay, forget everything else. If you're trying to win, because at the end of the day, the color they really love is green. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you know that if you win, you're going to increase the green by hundreds of millions of dollars. That's what Super Bowl champion, the apparel, all the shit, the videos, all the fucking stuff that comes out of that. Oh my God, your ticket sales go through the roof. I mean, give me a break. So why, if that's the goal, would you not take a guy with 2 Super Bowls?
Yeah.
I don't understand this. And he just got one at the expense of the guy you hired. We outcoached him. What the fuck are you looking at?
Well, it's
what
just
the
like
fuck are you
with Eric
looking at?
Bieniemy, they always want to say, well, it's because of Reed. Well, it's because of Mahomes. But
Reed never won a Super Bowl without Bieniemy.
yeah, that's true.
So how do we know that? In fact, Reed was outcoached in a lot of plays, big games before that dude showed up.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. Okay, so I don't know how good he really is. We're gonna find out now that he's gone. We'll find out right now.
I think Andy Reid's a good coach. I don't think that's in question.
There's good and there's where they're putting him,
but
which is in Belichick.
Since when does being on a great coach's coaching tree make you?
It doesn't.
Not a head coach candidate.
I don't know.
On every other head coaching tree, right? It's this guy's part of his staff. Yeah, he's ready to be head coach.
There is no logical reason. Eric Bieniemy is not. There isn't one. There just isn't.
Outside of racism.
That's not logical. I said there's no logical reason. There's illogical, there's idiocy, there's those, yeah. But there's no logical reason. Which tells you it's racist. It's racist. I mean, unless he's got something like a record that we don't know about that they're holding against him, maybe he's got I don't know. Whatever they would, I mean, but
but that's the thing they bring up.
Like,
but then look at all these other fucking coaches. Come on.
You can't, I'm not saying it's right. I'm saying give me something, because this doesn't make any sense.
Well, here are the Republican talking points on the matter. Here are the Republican talking points on the matter. Okay.
70% of your locker room's black.
Here are the Republican talking points. He doesn't interview well, and he's got a rap sheet, for some domestic thing.
Interviewing doesn't.
It's just.
You know how many times that's gone the other way?
That's what I'm saying.
Where the guy was an impeccable interviewer and he shit the bed. Like, how many times it's gone the other way? You can't even.
Dude, but my thing is, these people that say he doesn't interview well don't know
Have
what
you
the
actually
fuck
heard
they're
somebody say
talking
that?
about. Yes, that is.
Someone said that Eric Bieniemy doesn't interview well.
Okay, so when I tell you these are the Republican talking points, basically, and I'm sorry, I shouldn't put the political.
Well, you can't help yourself.
I can't help myself. But that's just the truth. Most times, the people that are arguing it's not racism, okay, are saying it's because he doesn't interview well and he's got a rap sheet.
Without knowing either.
Well, because somebody told him that.
Well, I've never seen a rap sheet on him.
No.
I would think if that were
he was
true,
charged with something.
No, but ESPN would have released that if that were the case. They'd have openly said, well, he has been arrested 3 times for dope or cocaine or whatever, something stupid.
No, it's not that.
I know it's not.
I think it's domestic violence.
If it's domestic violence and that's real, that would be a problem.
Let's see.
I hope that's not true. At least not. Because I could see why that would be a problem.
Yeah, but you could also see why if a white guy had that on his record, it wouldn't be a problem.
Didn't John Gruden get fired in the middle of the season just for making racial comments on an email?
For racial comments.
Yeah.
Not for domestic violence.
Domestic violence is not up at that level? Beating a woman?
No, I'm not saying it's not on that level.
I'm saying it is.
Of course it is. I'm saying though it's only being applied to this guy.
Yeah, if that's what it is.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying no.
Well, if that's what they're holding against him.
Beating a woman and being a racist are on the same level in terms of you're a piece of shit.
You're a piece of shit.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
Either way.
But I'm just saying this guy has something on his record. Okay. If we went and looked at every coach, right now in the NFL.
How many of them are clean?
Exactly. That's my only point.
I'm sure some are.
I'm sure some are.
I'm sure it's not 100% across the board. But again, it would depend on what the crime is.
Let's see.
If it's speeding tickets or parking violations, I'm not going to.
Yeah, let me
kill
make
them for
sure on this
that.
because I don't want to just say that.
I know. I'm just saying. I don't know. But Eric Bieniemy, barring something like that, should be a head coach.
An assault charge against the woman.
Barring him beating a woman or something, that he should be a head coach.
Well, that is on his rap sheet, apparently.
He was convicted?
Let's see.
Or he was accused? Because accused and convicted aren't the same thing.
So, yeah, and I don't know if this is
because people will accuse you for anything to get money if they know you're famous. He was a pretty famous guy. Bieniemy, he was a hell of a college football player and played in the pros, so he was a celebrity. Would it be the first time a woman did that? Nope. Would it be the last? Nope. Is there anyone out there that will do that? Not a lot of you. Not indicting the entire race, but there's a few bad apples out there that will do that. They've done it before. So, anyway, I don't know what logical reason is Eric Bieniemy is not a coach. If it's domestic violence on a team, then that would be a reason. I'm not saying he's the only one with a charge on him, because there's probably other guys that are coaching in that league with a criminal record or some, blemish. But depends on what the blemish is. So, but domestic
so
violence,
he was in a bar fight in 1998.
Okay. I've been in a few bar fights.
Right.
Am I a hardened criminal?
In 1990, he pleaded no contest after allegedly shoving a firefighter. He was in college, okay?
Sure, wait, you don't shove a firefighter.
All right,
There's no acceptable.
But are you the fucking devil if you do?
No, but it's a terrible thing.
Yeah,
I wouldn't put on a level.
He was probably a drunk football player, being an asshole.
He's in college.
Do you think he's evolved in 30 years?
I would hope so.
Right.
Well, is there anything more? Is that it?
That was 1993.
Is that the last thing?
Hang on.
There might be a pattern, Tom.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
This says 2001 Dewey charge.
Dewey? Okay. Not the end of the world on that one. It's a bad one. Every coach in America has had too many drinks. I know, I had it with most of them. I was one of them.
How come I didn't see the thing about a woman there?
So maybe that wasn't true.
It said it at the top of this article. Oh, shit.
What? Spit it.
I'm sorry. You know when you're on a website and the mobile site sucks, so it's like jumping all over?
It skips around on you. You're just trying to get to a certain point.
Oh, okay.
What?
Colorado.
What?
Here's another thing that happened in college.
There's this college theme. And a period. What happened? Oh, wait,
Yeah. Now this is from sportscasting.com.
Okay.
Apparently, so he was arrested.
Yeah. For?
Grabbed a female parking attendant by the neck and threatened her. The University of Colorado Boulder banned Bieniemy from its campus for 1 year as a result.
He was in college or out of college?
Well, it was University of Colorado, so he must have been in college.
What was he? What date was it?
1993.
Oh, yeah, he was in college. I think.
All right, so I mean, it looks like he's got a checkered past.
Well,
It's been 30 years since then.
for all we know. I mean,
I guess he could still be a piece of shit.
all it takes is one person in that power structure that maybe somebody was affected by him. Maybe it was somebody's, the parking attendant was somebody's niece or daughter or something.
Well, either way,
who knows
he
who
did
he?
that to a person.
Yeah, who knows who he? It's bad no matter what. But if it's someone that has ties to the NFL, that's even worse. That's going to spread like a brush fire.
Like a brush fire.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope that's not the case. I don't know. I'm just saying. Speculation.
I get, but to put it plainly, I guess if
hitting a woman's hitting a woman.
hitting a woman is hitting a woman, yes. But I'm pretty sure most I don't know. I bet you there's a lot of coaches with shit on there.
I didn't say there wasn't. It depends on the crime.
you got a guy.
Like I said, if it's 100 speeding
you got a guy on the Supreme Court,
or if it's
who probably did worse than Eric Bieniemy in college.
say the guy.
What's that fucking asshole's name? The guy who.
What's that fucking asshole?
You know, on the Supreme Court, Kavanaugh. Brett Kavanaugh.
What's that fucking asshole?
You know that fucking guy on the Supreme Court, Brett Kavanaugh?
Yeah, I do now.
Did you watch the hearings as he was getting
the Trump hearings?
No, the Kavanaugh hearings when he was getting nominated to be on the Supreme Court by Trump, and all this shit was coming out about him being like a real fuck up in college, getting blackout drunk, and like he was like a little pansy on the stand. They were asking him, they were like, so
his crime is he drank too much in college?
No. They were asking him questions about his situation in college.
Okay.
Because I think there were some accusations against him.
Like what?
Don't make me guess again, like I did with Bieniemy. Even though I was right with Bieniemy.
You were right with Bieniemy.
But there was like, he was accused of some like shady business as a college kid. I don't know if it was getting girls drunk
Did
and
he
then
run a porn ring?
No, but they were like, did you ever get blackout drunk? And he was like, I don't know, did you? I like beer. Like he came across like the biggest douchey McDouchers in history. And I bet
Who are you talking about again?
Brett Kavanaugh. And I guarantee you, Eric Bieniemy is a better guy than that motherfucker.
I have to see Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh is on the Supreme Court.
Let's see.
Looks like the next one. Fuck yeah.
So, anyway.
Dude, you can't post this. We're lost in the sauce.
No, we're not.
Yes, we are.
Lost in the sauce?
We are.
How does one get lost in the sauce?
I mean, we're a couple of meatballs just lost in the sauce.
I've never been lost. I've been in heaven.
It's easy to get lost in the sauce.
It's lost in the
You don't know this,
Actually,
dude?
I lost the sauce. Oh, him. Oh, yeah, I've seen shit.
Justice Brett Kavanaugh.
Justice Brett Kavanaugh. He is a tool bag.
God, I hated him.
Anyway, but yeah, so no. Oh, the other thing I wanted to talk about was what should the Giants do with Saquon and Danny Dimes?
I mean,
Are they going to end up franchising one of them?
I think so, without a doubt. Well, I don't
think that's a bad thing if it's more. I mean, if they should lock up Danny Dimes. You want to franchise tag Saquon for a year?
Well, it's kind of like what we talked about last week. What you said, you can't let Jones go.
No.
So if you can't come to a deal with him, you've got to franchise him, which sucks because it ties up all that cap space.
It does, but you can't. You don't know what's on the other side, and you're in the playoffs. You're knocking on the door of being. You don't want to take 2 steps back.
I know.
Which you'd probably be doing with the rookies. You're not going to get one of the top 2-3 quarterbacks. They're going to go before the top 10. The Giants are not in the top 10. I think Danny Dimes wants to stay, which is a good thing based on what I've heard. So I think there is a deal there to be done. Now, whether or not I don't know how far apart they're going to be on this number. What's going to happen is there's the offer, there's the counter offer, and they usually meet somewhere in the middle. So the question is going to be, how big is this number going to be? What's this new agency? There's these pros, what Jerry Maguire's, if you will. What are they going to throw at them? Like, what do you think's outrageous?
What do I think's outrageous?
Yeah, what's outrageous? Knowing what you now know.
Well, I mean, what I think is outrageous seems to be the market for a quarterback right
Yeah,
now.
that's the thing.
Because what I keep hearing on these shows is like, okay, even if you give Daniel Jones $35 to $40 million, in a few years when Burrow and those guys sign, Jalen Hurts, they're all going to sign for more than that.
Yeah. But if he is the guy we hope he is, he's going to be worth it.
Yeah, well, yeah, if that top tier is getting
If
signed for more
if
than
he
that,
in the next 4 years wins the Super Bowl, he's going to be worth it.
without a doubt.
I'm saying. So
That's a big if, though.
Of course it is. A lot of things, nothing's a guarantee. But I know this. they got to the second round, and
Yeah.
they literally there's a lot of improvements they can make.
I mean, I think he's worth $30 million a year, which is crazy to say because I think I came in thinking like 26 million for like 4 years.
Guaranteed, all of it, or like 70%.
3 years.
Okay, with a what player option for a fourth or a team option?
Well, no, the fourth is a part of the contract,
Yeah.
but like I guess
But 3 years guaranteed.
3 years guaranteed, regardless.
Yeah.
You know, which is almost 80 million guaranteed. But so that's me not knowing about the salary cap and not knowing about value because what they're saying on TV, the NFL experts are saying he could get 35 to 40 million.
He can.
Which so I guess that's
That's
what
what Dak's making. I think he's better. I think he's better than Dak. Do you think he's better than Dak Prescott right now? Yes or no?
So I'd take him over Dak Prescott right now. But
a
I
lot of people
don't
would.
know that he's better than him yet. He's got to show me for another year.
Dak Prescott has always had a stacked deck. This guy has never had a stacked deck.
That's true.
And Dak Prescott has one playoff win to show for it, maybe 2 in 9 years. He's had a stacked deck for 9 years, Tom.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
So
I've always, for some reason, thought he was good though, because
I didn't say he wasn't good.
Because
I'm just saying
the Giants haven't beaten them in years.
Because the Giants can't match up talent-wise.
I know.
That's why.
But so I think that's why I kind of elevate Dak because every time we play them, he torches
2 running backs, 3 receptors.
No, you're right.
He's got weapons everywhere he turns. Your guy has Saquon, and that's it. Literally, he turns in any direction, he's screwed.
Yeah, and for a couple of years, Saquon was not Saquon.
And Saquon wasn't even there. So he had nothing for like 2. I mean, come on. To me, Dak Prescott should at least have been to a conference title game by now. At least one.
And they've had a good defense, too.
They've had a good everything. The people sitting there this year going, what happened last year when they didn't win?
Yeah.
What was the excuse? It's always a fucking excuse with them. And the one constant's the goddamn quarterback. So, and he always nosedives at the end of the year. He always does.
Yeah.
So, listen, I saw more from Danny Dimes in one playoff game than I've seen from this guy, from Dak Prescott in 8. And I don't want to hear about what he did in Tampa Bay. That team was a fucking shell of itself. That
They
doesn't
went
even count.
crazy when they beat them.
Yeah, that told you right there they weren't going anywhere. They're so stupid. Like that Tampa Bay team was a sample of itself. It's not even close. I mean, so they shouldn't even have been there. I mean,
Yeah, that whole division should.
you take Tom Brady off that team, they win 4 games because he literally won 4 games in the fourth quarter for them. He threw touchdowns in the last minute 4 fucking times to beat the opponent. Okay, he won 4 games with no line, no anything, no tight end, no running game, and he did that. He
Sure, he
willed
also
them.
won the other games too.
Well, he probably did. The bottom line is those 4 he won by pretty much in the fourth quarter.
Not sure they would have had 4 wins.
And his line sucked, couldn't protect him. Worst running game in the NFL by far.
If they had Kyle Trask, they would have had 1 win,
Maybe.
maybe. No.
It's fucking ridiculous. And his best receiver had a record for drops in the season. A guy that was supposed to be reliable dropped, and 4 of those were touchdowns,
Dude, I saw something about the Giants potentially trading for Chris Godwin.
which would be a good move.
Yeah?
Yeah, stud.
He didn't have a good year, though.
He had 1,000 yards receiving. That's the point. It's a bad year for
I saw
him.
a lot of drops.
But it was his first year out of the surgery. Remember, he had major surgery. The fact that he was back in
On what,
9
knee?
months. Knee. He tore his ACL. For him to be back in 9 months and have a year like that, oh my God. Yeah,
How
he's
old is he?
27, 28. He's
So
entering.
he's already started his second contract?
He's entering his prime. The kid's good. Kid's really good. Now look, Tom Brady made him look better. When Brady got there, I was like, oh, he's decent. Brady turned him into a Pro Bowl. He took him up to the next level. So, and I think Danny Dimes, he'd be effective with him. I think Danny Dimes reads defenses well overall. So
He's a reader.
he can run, but he can also do both. He can run if he has to, but he can also stay in the pocket and go through his read. That's what I like about Danny Dimes.
Yeah, no.
So
Danny Dimes, especially the second half of the season, he showed he's legit.
dude, how many clutch fucking games did
Yeah.
he play?
He showed
The
he's
second
legit.
half when they made their run, he had fucking kidding.
Yeah.
He was. I'm just saying, with very limited fucking weapons. I would imagine if he had fucking the Commanders, the 2 guys at Commanders got on the outside. You know what I mean? Like fucking, he's got nobody like that. So I'm just saying that if I'm the Giants, He's not walking out that fucking door. Okay, I don't give a shit. And then your first picks, to his point, you've got to get a number one fucking receiver. You've got to get him. If you're not going to do it in free agency, you got to draft the son of a bitch. Wide receivers have been proven. Recent history is good. They make an immediate impact. The ones that are really good, they made an immediate impact their rookie year. So you get a guy like that with him and Saquon Barkley, you got something. And then you just fill in behind it. And the thing about a true number one is a true number one makes everybody beneath him better. He makes a 3 a 2. He makes a 4 a 3. He just does. That's what a true number one is. So if he can't, and again, the guy on the market people keep floating the name is T. Higgins from Cincinnati. Now,
but they're also saying 5 other teams should get him.
I'm saying he sounds like the one.
Patriots.
The Patriots are really well. We'll see if Kraft pulls the trigger. But the bottom is Mac Jones has never had a number one either. So in 2 years he hasn't had a number one. So he can't be fairly judged either. And this year is a fucking wash because of the dickhead.
Are they going to let Jacoby go?
This is what I was going to get to. Jacoby Myers is up, and they're saying, I don't know if this is true, that the market for him is somewhere between 15 and 20 million. I don't know that he's worth 15 and 20. I like him. I'm not saying he's not worth the raise. He is, but 15 to 20 million a year. He didn't have. I don't think he had a 1,000-yard season. He had that horrific play against the Raiders. Horrific. That play.
But that was Stevenson's fault.
That play. He's the one who threw it back.
But
don't blame Stevenson for this.
Hear me out.
You cannot blame Stevenson.
Hear me out. Okay. So Jacoby Myers has to take responsibility.
Yes, he does, and he did.
He did. He
didn't duck it.
No, and he didn't blame Stevenson. But I am blaming Stevenson because in what fucking planet do you lateral that ball? I believe
if the coaches had a play on. He's just following the play. Now here's where Jacoby Myers.
You better not fucking tell me the coaches had that play on.
People are saying that they did.
No fucking way.
Yeah, they did.
No.
Yeah, I wasn't there.
I've never heard that.
Look, they fired them all.
Well, okay.
They fired them all.
Then I don't blame either one of them.
I'm saying the story is that, and this is where I don't understand Belichick. What should have been told to Jacoby Myers while this play was going to happen was, look, if it's not there, throw it away because we're going to overtime. We don't have to. This is what I don't understand. Why they just
if they
didn't
called
play
that play,
I'm saying
sorry.
They called that play.
No way. Nobody said that. There's no fucking way. Dude, I think Stevenson totally lost his shit. His marbles were gone.
How are you blaming?
Look, so he loses his shit.
Stevenson did not tell this guy to throw a fucking lateral back to the one guy.
I'm saying I think he laterals it and then
and
then what's his face goes, oh fuck, we're losing. We gotta score.
Here's the other thing.
And he just heaves it. Like I think he was so unprepared for that lateral that he lost his complete shit and thought y'all were losing.
I think scoreboards are on every side of the stadium.
But
there's no way he didn't see the scoreboard.
When you lose your shit, you can't see, you can't hear, you can't think.
And by the way,
that's what he lost his shit.
You know what he really should be getting crushed for? Of all the places he shouldn't have thrown,
in the middle of the field.
No, not just the quarterback. Why the fuck would you throw it back to the fucking quarterback?
Because he can't throw
it. He can't throw it. He's your worst. He's your worst runner. Why are you throwing it to him?
Because he was wide open.
No,
Chandler Jones.
Chandler Jones is right. The point, he's not. Why him?
Maybe he thought Chandler Jones was a tight end.
Say that was
maybe he thought Chandler Jones was a tight end.
Say that was one of the other receivers. Okay, or another running. Okay, I get that. At least that makes it. The fucking quarterback lose his mind. He fucking hung out with Yoda and Jobu, if he's thinking that.
Dude, it was funny when they asked Jacoby Myers. They were like, "So were you surprised when he threw you that ball? Like when he lateraled it back to you?" And he's like, "Yeah, I was surprised, but it was still my fault. Like, I was surprised he tossed it to me, but then I had it." And I got to be smart.
Throw it at my coach. Who called this fucking play?
There's no way that play was called.
There are rumors. I don't know. I'm saying there are multiple rumors saying that play was actually.
Then a book needs to be written. A book should be written about
But
that
here's
play.
the problem. Listen, you can call that play, but you tell the guys, if there's nothing there, just throw it out of bounds. Or take a knee. We're going
You can't
overtime.
call that play.
You
I'm
don't.
sorry.
We don't have to force it. If I was going to be dumb enough to call this play, what I would say is, look, we don't have. If it's not there,
Okay.
go down and throw
Hang
it
on
out
a
of
second.
bounds.
Let me correct you. If you were dumb enough to call that play, you wouldn't be smart enough to tell them if it's not there, don't force it.
That's not true.
Because a lateral.
That's not true.
Yes, you.
I'll tell you why you call this play. Because the
A
other team.
lateral in its
Will you
whole
let me
essence,
finish?
but I wasn't finished. A lateral in its essence is forcing it. It's a desperate play.
Laterals are part. They have plays where laterals are involved, like a routine play. That's not a forcing it. That's a
Like a
routine
hook
play.
and lateral?
Yes.
Yeah,
or
that's
the,
a play
the what do you call it? The QB, the toss sweep. That's a lateral.
Oh, come on. We're not talking about that.
I'm saying it's a
We're talking
lateral.
about running into the middle of the field and then lateraling it to a teammate in the middle of a scrum.
That's what the quarterback does.
No.
He runs into where he's about to get fucking, he throws it, and hopefully there's nobody on the outside to kill the guy.
You're behind the line most of the time.
But still, it's a lateral.
But we're not.
And you're running into mayhem, and then you
right,
kick
and
it
you're
out.
kicking it.
Yeah.
That's the option. We're not talking. Dude.
Well, the other guy technically has an option too,
A
doesn't he?
lateral that happens past the line of scrimmage is typically a desperation play.
Are you trying to prove that this is not Jacoby Myers' fault?
No, I'm trying to prove that that play was not called.
I don't know that it wasn't called. Multiple sources said this, not one. Does that make it true? No.
I didn't hear it from any sources.
You don't know people from Foxborough. I know who Bob Ryan. You know the sport, Dan Shaughnessy.
I know both of them.
Oh, really? Do
Yes.
you? Well, why didn't you go look them up?
They didn't say it.
I didn't say they said. I'm saying these came from sports writers. Jeff
No,
Goodman. These guys
didn't.
Yes, it did.
I didn't see that.
I'm telling you, they're up there.
No, Bob Ryan and Dan.
I didn't say it was Bob
the two
Ryan.
most famous sports writers from Boston.
I didn't say that those two said that. I'm
Yes,
saying
the
there were
two
multiple
guys from
sources.
Boston who've been on around the horn.
I'm saying there were multiple sources up there.
But Bob Ryan looks like death.
He's old. There's times when you look like death.
Never. Living, breathing. Life.
Right.
You don't look like death.
I'd say you look like it now.
Death
I'm
is
saying there
like
are times
complete
when
white
you look
face.
like that man's going to kill you. Yeah. You think it's sleeping. Actually, go home.
All right, don't get all sensitive about fucking Bob Ryan.
I'm not.
Mhm.
I'm not. I'm just saying.
I was trying to get a laugh
there
out of you
were
by saying he
rumors.
looked like death, and you're like, you've looked like death
You've
before.
looked. I've seen death in
Did you
your
talk
eyes.
about Robert Ryan?
I've seen the Grim Reaper at your shoulder
Did you talk about
more than
Bobby?
once.
Bobby Ryan?
More than once. Anyway, so look, I want the Pats to keep Jacoby Myers, but $20 million a year might be too much. Just might be too much. I don't know. I'm sure that if that number's out there, somebody's willing to pay it. So unless
you could draft a receiver.
well, if you're going to trade for
That
T,
hasn't gone
if you're
well
going to
for you.
trade for T Higgins, then that means you're going to let this guy go. And if that's the case, okay, that's an upgrade. I understand that. If that's the plan, if it's not the plan, then you have to ask yourself, all right, where they missed the playoffs, they're drafting pretty high. Who are the receivers you targeted? Because you can't miss. You can't miss. And Jacoby Myers is proven. This is the question you have to ask yourself. Do we stay with the proven guy, and we have this
Is he a number one, though?
Based on what I've seen, no. But I've never seen him like I think that O'Brien, who's coming in now as the OC, I like him more as an IC than I do fucking what's his nuts out there in fucking Vegas, Josh McDaniels. I always thought O'Brien was a better play call.
Really?
Yeah, I always thought he was. Now I'm not saying Josh couldn't call plays because there were times when he could, but O'Brien was better.
He stunk in Houston.
He didn't have any weapons. I'm not talking
He
about-
traded away his best weapon.
He didn't do that. The front office did it.
Mm-mm. He was the front office. He had the keys to that entire.
He
fucking
traded
shit.
DeAndre Hopkins away, or he was a free agent, didn't resign him.
No, he traded him
What'd
to
he get?
Arizona. Jack shit.
Who's Jack shit?
He was a bad player named Jack.
He didn't trade him for a player.
Yes, he fucking did.
He lost him in free agency.
No, he didn't. He traded him away.
He better have got something back.
Let me.
Remember, Hopkins didn't have a great career in Arizona either. He kind of missed. He kind of.
Dude, but he went from a really strong
I know,
quarterback
but he
to
didn't have
Kyler
a.
Murray.
He was always hurt in Arizona. He didn't play. I don't even think he got through a full season.
He's still out there.
Yeah, but he's not what he was now. In fact, Arizona, they released him.
No. He's still in Arizona.
Well, he did have a few. He had 2 good games in Arizona when he came back.
Running back David Johnson, a 2nd-round pick and the swap of a 4th-round pick.
David
That's
Johnson,
pathetic.
No, David Johnson was 1,000-yard rusher. He was good. He wasn't as good as
He was
Sam.
good.
But they got him.
DeAndre Hopkins.
But they got him and they got picks. What? And what, did they say what the picks were? Who they ended up being? They ended up being shit and they fucked it up. So, if you got draft picks and they were reason like 3rd round or
So
higher.
former coach and general manager Bill O'Brien.
Okay.
So he was doing it.
Okay.
We feel really good about it when we look at the analytics of it based on the production that was leaving our team and the production we are bringing in. Okay. Traded DeAndre Hopkins to Arizona for David Johnson, a swap, a 2nd-round pick, and a swap of 4th rounders. Okay. O'Brien defended the trade because it looked bad.
Yeah, it does. Not terrible, but bad. I've seen worse. And Johnson was a 1,000-yard receiver. I remember he was good in that. So he was a good player. He wasn't a scrub. But
so
the draft,
Johnson, if you recall, was coming off a 2nd consecutive season where he just didn't look like the explosive Pro Bowl running back he was before his 2017 knee injury.
Was that 2 years?
He had two down years.
2 down.
He averaged.
Or maybe they thought they weren't going to re-sign Hopkins, so they traded him and got something for him instead of losing him. I think they could have gotten more. That's possible too. Anyway, in terms of play calling, he's not going to be in the front office. I liked him better when he was with the Patriots than McDaniels. I thought he called better games. So I'm curious to see what he does with Mac Jones. But you got to get him a number 1.
DeAndre Hopkins put up 1,400 yards in his first season with the Cardinals. But then he got injured and then he got suspended.
Was that PED years?
I think so.
He had 1 good year. And injured. Okay, injuries, that happens. But then he got suspended. For a year?
8 games.
Half a year. That was this past year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then he came in. He looked good. He had a couple of really good games. I know that.
Yeah, he did. But it's like you come in halfway through the year.
Well, yeah, but they were already in trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
They were in trouble, and then Kyler got hurt.
Yeah.
And then he had Colt McCoy throwing to him for a couple games. He got hurt. They brought in McSorley. Remember McSorley? He got hurt. And then they brought in David Blau, who was like a backup in Detroit. Yeah. He wasn't a backup in Detroit. He was a backup in Dallas. And he was on Hard Knocks with Dallas, I think. But then this year, Detroit brought him in. Or, no, Arizona brought him in.
Anyway, so we'll see what happens with that. So the G-Men got 2 big decisions to make. The Patriots got to make a decision on Jacoby Myers. And if they don't get him, even if they keep him, they got to get number 1. He's not, to your point, a number 1.
No, he's
Now,
not
again,
number 1.
Can O'Brien make him better? Yeah. Can he make him a number 1? I don't know about that. I think the answer is no. I think he's the best he could ever be as a 2. Now, he could be a good 2 if you get a legit 1.
Yeah.
You got to get a legit 1 to put next to him. I think he could be a very good 2 if you got that guy. But you got to get that guy too. Keeping him doesn't mean you don't. You still have to go make a move, whether it's T. Higgins or you better draft this dude. I think they're picking somewhere between 12 and 15 or 16. You can get a Hall of Fame number 1 at that spot in that area. So you cannot fuck this up.
What about Odell Beckham?
No, I don't want him. I don't want him. I don't care. I don't know how much. One, that he's a short-term solution.
Dan Orlovsky was saying it today.
He's not a long-term solution. He's not.
He's also a pain in the ass.
And he's a pain. He's a
if you have a young quarterback,
you
I
don't
don't
want
think
him.
you want him.
You don't want him stinking up the locker room. No, you get a guy that can grow with his quarterback, like Dallas did. They drafted Aikman. They drafted Michael. Okay, in like year 2. I mean, you look at all these quarterbacks that are ascending. What did they all get this past offseason? They all got a fucking number 1. Tua got fucking the cheetah. Hurts got fucking A.J. Brown. I mean, give me a fucking break some of these moves that they made. And fucking, what's it? The only
A.J.
guy.
Brown on top of Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
They built a fucking contender.
They did. They're not going anywhere. So the thing is,
dude, but they got some beef on the
yeah,
on the market.
they do. They got players they got to resign too. It's going to be a very interesting offseason.
One of their tackles, Hargrove
The,
or Hargrave.
you guys need a shutdown corner as well.
I know. Giants,
because that changes your whole
stuff.
secondary. Yeah, but if you get a number one receiver and a number one corner on it,
but
that's a win.
So I saw something that said it would be smarter to go corner.
It's deeper in receivers. Yeah, you
Smarter
can still
to
get a
go
good
corner at 25.
Yeah, you can still the cornerback. It's not as deep. Cornerback field is not as deep as the wide receiver. That is true. So if they're picking a 25, yeah, get the shutdown corner.
Yeah,
he's harder to find. You can. There's a lot of ways
and
to
that
get
really
it.
does change your defense.
Of course, it does.
Especially if you can pick up.
You can take away a side of the field.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot without even. Yeah,
it helps your D line.
Helps everybody. You got a guy you just put up there and take the number one away. Then you can double team whoever else you want. That's huge. And they're hard to find, but you can get that guy in the first round. So if that's what the Giants are targeting first, it makes sense. Receivers got to be the next pick, or pass rushing whoever, D end or linebacker, whoever. It's one of those two. But you got to work on those three positions, and I think if you can do that, and again, that's the scouting department. Because there are great players to be found later in the draft. There doesn't be a first round pick. There's been as many first round gems as been first round busts. And just as many. So you're not guaranteed anything there. But your scouting department, you can find guys second, third, fourth, fifth round. And that's where you make your moves. And plus you can sign them for cheap money because they're not a first round pick. Their guaranteed money is far less. Right. So that if you can do it then, it's even a bargain. Now you can really build. So that's about the scouting department. We'll see Dave. We know Dave Ball can coach. Let's see what we can do with the scouting department.
Well, that's what's his face, Shane.
I
think Shane is the GM.
All right, well, let's see what he does with these two. He's made some pretty good moves so far.
It's just such an inexact science.
Oh, it's hard because there are things you can't. You can pass that Wonderlic test, and you can say you can't. You can't. You don't know about a person's character until they face a person. That's when you find out who a person really is. Everything goes wrong. That's when you know if that person's a keeper. And it's very hard. Because most of these guys that you sit in front of you don't know losing. They all excelled at the college level. So there's not a lot of adverse moments to see them.
Well, that's like why Jalen Hurts is so awesome because he had adversity on a major scale.
Yes, he did.
National championship games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, being benched and it's easy to look at that guy, see that progression, and go, yes. We actually have evidence of him facing adversity, and being better.
Exactly.
Whereas, I guess with a lot.
And that was the funny thing about Brady, because he did this all through Michigan, and no one seems. They don't talk about it until now. Yeah. It's like, why didn't anyone see all this crap there? It was well documented. Everybody knew it. It wasn't a secret.
But I mean, Jalen Hurts was drafted in the second round, right? Or was it the third round?
I think it was second or third.
So I think that's kind of how it happens. Yeah, people will see you go through adversity, but most people still look at you and go, oh, yeah, but he got benched. That's the reason he lasts to the second round.
Yeah.
That's the reason Brady lasts till the
But he got his job back at the end and won.
I know.
That's the weird thing. He didn't. Hurts kid, he got benched.
Yeah.
It was like, what? So
he had to go to another team.
Yes.
But he got benched, then came back in and helped them
He
win.
He did.
Remember? I mean, I remember that when he got benched. Then Tua got hurt. Mm-hmm. He had to come in and win a game for him. I mean, that was pretty awesome.
No, it was. So, but in Brady's case, where the adversity was literally every single year, he'd overcome 4 or 5 things before his junior year. I mean, so this kid's resiliency was off the charts. If they had been measuring that at the combine, Brady would have set a record, pretty much. The shit that he went through in his 3-4 years of Every time a kid came in, he came in to replace him and knock him for that. Every fucking year it happened. So, and he didn't redshirt year. He didn't do transfer portal and leave. He stayed there and he won the fucking job. He fucking won it. He didn't transfer. He didn't cry about it and go suck his thumb. And, no. He said, no, fuck it. And he won the fucking job. If you think about just those 4 years, that right there, look at what he ended up doing. That's his character. That's his fucking character.
That's corrected. You
can't come back from 20 to 3 down unless you got fucking balls as big as church bells. It takes major because somebody's got to lead that team.
Balls that big, that would be a disadvantage.
You know,
you can get kicked in the balls from a mile away.
You know, Dalton.
Darren or Andy?
Roadhouse. Dalton.
Oh, Dalton from Roadhouse.
That Dalton. The one who had balls big enough to come in the dump truck.
Which one was Dalton?
That was Patrick Swayze.
Oh, that was Patrick Swayze's name.
Yeah, Dalton.
Okay.
Yeah. Bouncer extraordinary.
Remember, that's the one where where the bad
Kelly
guy,
Lynch.
where the bad guy beats his own guy up?
Yes.
Do you remember that scene?
You bleed too much. You are a messy bleeder. And he goes, whack.
Oh my God.
They put the raiders, you're weak, chomp. You know, points for pain. And he needs him in the nuts. Weird. The guy goes down, and he's like, well, help him up. Like, well, you kicked him in the nuts. What the fuck are you going to do?
All right, before we get off too much on a tangent, there are actually a lot of teams that have major decisions to make.
Yes.
In the NFL.
A ton. What the fuck are the Baltimore Ravens doing? What the fuck are you doing?
They've already fucked
You were talking about playing with fire.
They've already fucked it up.
You better put that.
Are they going to have to franchise the guy? And he might not play.
Put him on the one where someone can match.
The transitional
Yeah,
tag.
you get two.
The
At this point, if I'm the Jets, I do it.
Do what?
You go after Lamar Jackson.
Lamar.
Yes.
For 2 number ones.
Yes. You've proven you can't
What if you're
fucking.
the Giants?
You know how many times the Jets have tried to
What if
draft
you're the
this guy?
Giants?
No. No, you got something.
Yeah.
You don't need
Plus,
to
here's the thing.
Quarterback's not your problem.
Here's the thing with the Giants. If you trade away 2 number ones, Lamar Jackson is not making you that much better.
No, he's not.
He's
now
really
it's Lamar and
not.
Saquon.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, what the fuck? Okay.
Right. Okay.
So what's Lamar going to do? He can't. What's he done with no number one in Baltimore? Not much.
Yeah, not much.
So it's like, well, then you're switching teams.
He'll run for his life.
Yeah, he'll run for his life. He'll get hurt again because he's running for his life, and then here we go. But no, if I'm New
So
York,
for the Jets, you do it.
if you're the Jets, you do it because the pieces. If you're the Giants, the pieces aren't in place.
But I thought you were saying the Jets should do David Carr
Over Aaron Rodgers.
Okay,
Because he's
but
younger.
But not over.
No,
Lamar.
Jackson's younger and better than him.
Yeah.
I'm saying Carr to Rodgers. Plus Rodgers with this fucking in, out, flip, flopping. I have to go on a dark retreat to see the light and figure out my life. And all, yeah. Like you're really going to walk away from $59 fucking million next year. Shut the fuck up.
Who do you think you are, Dave Chappelle?
Seriously, you're not fucking doing that. Nobody in this world, you'll need your head examined. You fucking do that. Because then you'll be like, why the fuck would you walk away from $60 million? You fucking stupid. If you'll make $60 million in 1 year, like your boss, and that's it. Okay, that's it. Aaron's boss, the guy who owns the fucking team.
You're saying not my fucking boss.
No, I'm saying if I'm Aaron Rodgers, one fucking guy makes it's your fucking boss, and you are getting it. You're gonna walk away from that? No. He's not doing that.
The Green Bay Packers are owned by the fans. His boss only makes $50,000 a year.
If you multiply that by all the owners, 60 million. So
it's not fully owned by the fans. There's some rich
there's some rich
right?
folk. There's definitely some deep pockets in that organization. They're all fucking goat herders and fucking,
cheesemakers.
Cheesemakers.
I guess they got goat cheese.
Goat cheese.
They're goat herders.
I'm saying goat herders.
Okay, let's think of another team.
That what could go after him?
No, that just has a major decision to make.
Oh. Well, obviously it would be the other
What about
one.
Tampa? Tampa can't go for Lamar because they need to draft multiple people too. They can't give up.
They have the receiving core. They have 2 studs on the outside. Yeah, they do. Those two are.
Are you sure they're going to be good together? Is Mike Evans okay?
Wow, he's number 1.
The way he was dropping balls this year was weird.
Yeah,
it was just a shitty
look,
year.
Everybody has a bad year at some point. It's not like he's. Then in a game where he caught 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, I know.
So, I mean, it's like
I guess the more you get the ball thrown to you,
yeah, I mean,
the more
you're
drops
going to
you're
have some drops, but 4 touchdowns. When you're him who doesn't drop 1 like that. I mean,
so are you saying they should go after Lamar?
I don't know what their cap situation is. First of all, I don't think they're equipped to.
Their cap,
because
their
they
cap
can't.
is like minus.
I don't think they have the. I don't think they could put the package together to get him.
I think I saw minus 58 million.
I don't think the Tampa has the space. They have to restructure a shit ton.
They're over by a lot.
They're by a lot. Now Brady not playing is going to save them some money, but still not. They need way more than that. Yeah. Way more. And their big name players are on big contracts too.
And they're older.
Well, the Shaq Barrett's not. The linebacker's not.
Well,
and actually, Godwin's 28. He's not. Evans is the one.
What about the running back?
Fournette's not on a big contract.
He's not.
He's on. This was his last year.
Leonard. I don't know why their receivers seem so old to me.
Evans is older. Evans is 31 or 32. Probably 32. But Godwin is 27 or 28.
It's crazy that 30.
He's not. Godwin's not 30 yet.
Dude, I'm cool as shit.
I know. In this segment, we're gonna find Yoda and Jobu.
I don't got much left.
We might have this. We'll play it here because someone's turning into a popsicle. Even though
it feels cold out here.
45.
It feels colder than that. I think it's because I drank all this Crystal Light.
Well, that didn't help. You drank a frozen drink.
On ice.
I'm saying if we go inside for me, you might warm up and be fine.
All right, let's try that.
We'll try that. We'll try and come back and do a quick NBA basketball segment. We have to talk about the bubble. The very weird and floated bloaty bubble.
Well, that's not NBA.
We're going to do both. We can do both in 10 minutes.